Hello, and welcome to Goats and Gamebots, the unlicensed and completely uncalled for Survivor podcast. I'm Jack Pickard, Survivor superfan and rightful heir to the Probst Tribal Council stump. I'm also joined by my co-host, Shakira superfan, Zach Madsen.
Not true.
An acclaimed pod racer Saboba fan.
Very true.
As always, this podcast is about two Gamebots, Zach and myself, dragging our friend Andrew along our 40-season binge of Survivor. Today we'll be discussing Season 8, All-Stars. So if you don't want that spoiled,
I've got nothing for you. Grab stuff, head back to camp.
For those of you still with us, let's get it on. 40 seasons, 3 goofballs, 1 pointless podcast. How we doing today, fellas?
Oh, way,
Oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh.
Way, oh, way, oh.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. It was a little bit. I didn't come up with the intros until like a minute ago.
Yeah.
You guys.
I think you did a good job.
Okay.
Really
that's
light
what I
on
could
your-
come up with the time
For context,
I was given.
to the audience, the 2 tribes this season, or 3 tribes, I guess,
Yeah.
were Mogo Mogo, Chapira, and what was the other one? Sabogo?
Shakira?
Saboga.
Saboga.
Yeah, Saboga.
Yeah, and we were calling them Mogo Mogo, obviously, because that one's already stupid.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that any stupider than it already is.
Chapira was Shakira,
Yeah, of course.
and what's the other
Shakiro.
one?
Saboga.
Saboga was Saboba,
Yeah, which is-
Saboba.
the
Okay.
enemy pod racer from Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, Phantom Menace. Yeah, of course. Welcome back to the Star Wars pod.
Welcome back
right
to
off
the
the
Star
bat.
Wars podcast.
Any way I can get it in.
Yeah.
I need my fix.
That's what she said.
So we just finished the not only the reunion of Survivor All Stars, but America's Tribal Council. We had a very special.
Huge.
The reunion had a reunion this season.
Yeah,
Which is crazy.
reunion.
Yeah, and both of them were bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to process right now, but I think right off the bat we all generally like this season, right? What are
yeah.
people's thoughts? Just
Quality
straight
season. We were really excited to watch it. I don't think it let me down, personally.
up. Yeah,
I mean, it's like the sequel.
yeah.
It's any movie's sequel. You don't have to get to know the characters. There's no setup. You're
It's,
right
it's
in
hard
it.
to fuck up. Yeah. And we've already established all the characters. There are some plot lines that are already baked in, like the Colby Jerry thing. Like we get sort of Colby Jerry 2.0 in this season, and it's so great with the context of the previous seasons. So it really is the culmination of the Survivor extended universe to this point.
I'll say it's the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of the first Avengers movie. They
Yeah.
got everybody together.
Most ambitious crossover event in history, my ass.
Yeah, right.
Survivor All Stars.
Winners at war.
Sheehan is there. Are you kidding me?
Oh, true.
It is the ultimate
Sheehan.
crossover
Alright, I think
event.
we sold them.
Okay, yeah. If you were thinking of rewatching All Stars. But we also have to kick it off with the obvious question, Andrew. Tribal Council.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
So cool.
Was it?
It was so cool, Zach. I don't know how you fail to see it every time.
It
This one was
look any different to
It
me.
was a treehouse, Zach. It was
It was all elevated.
They built it into a tree. They had to climb up to it.
Okay. How's that different from season 2?
Season 2, they were in the middle of the African desert.
No,
They
no,
were
no,
just
no,
sitting-
no. That's season 3.
Oh,
Season
yeah.
2 is your typical waterfall. You've talked enough about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
I would think
season
you would
2.
know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tribal
yeah. Season
council
2,
we're
season
talking about.
Doesn't
We're
even
not
know
talking
which
about your
tribals is
mid-range
his favorite tribal.
seasons.
True.
Listen, hey, it doesn't matter if you're in a treehouse or on a cliff. All I know is if you don't have a roof, you're gonna get wet.
See,
Yeah.
and this guy.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that
So
matters. Listen,
is
there's
you approach
there's
things
roof.
from a practical perspective of why have a tribal council without a roof, right? Is that where sort of the angst comes from, Zach?
I think I just don't care about any of it, to be honest. But I do make a good point when I say that they should have a roof.
I don't know. I don't agree.
I think that I make a pretty good point.
I think we've had
Anyways.
this debate on the podcast before. I don't agree. I don't know. I don't think we need to get into it again.
It's a flare.
Listen,
It's
there's
like
a fire in the
dramatics.
middle. Jeff's got his podium. There's people sitting and talking. It doesn't matter where they do it to me.
Okay, so
They all blend together.
let me play devil's advocate here. You're saying we need less soaking wet Jeff Probst. Is that what this
No,
argument?
I made
is
this
secretly
clear. We
saying?
had this conversation. I love a soaking wet Jeff Probst, and I would
should.
never.
Everyone does.
right? And I would never not want one. All I'm saying is that during tribal council, especially say a final tribal council, a la Winners at War, not the best time to have a soaking wet Jeff Probst.
Okay.
I think that for
Need to
me,
get down to business?
Yeah, I don't know. When it starts to rain, I'm just like Jeff can't think straight. Everyone's having a bad time, and it's like that's what I'm thinking about instead of watching the
Gotcha.
gameplay, right?
Okay.
It's just a little.
I understand that.
What do they
All
call
right.
that, a pet peeve?
Yeah. Okay.
I understand that.
So you guys
feel-
clearly have different aesthetic opinions on tribal council.
No, I love that you love tribal.
This
That's
one
fine,
in
I don't
particular,
care.
my God,
Doesn't
it's
make
number
sense.
2 for me.
Granted, pragmatically, add a roof to it. You know, you've already built it in the trees.
That's true.
Add a
You
roof.
could have made this one.
You could have had like a
I'm-
whole Robinson Crusoe treehouse. I mean, it was cool. Could have been cooler.
I'm so sorry for what's about to come. You could have made this one look like Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Another Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
That's a niche.
It's the
Well,
Wookiee home
to-
planet.
yeah,
We're
to
not
be
getting into
fair,
that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I knew that
The-
one as well.
Everyone knows what the Wookiee
Yeah.
home planet's called.
We're not getting
But if we get a Camino Tribal
common
Council,
law.
my God.
crazy. They all just
Anyway.
look like each other.
Yeah.
Lucky for you, next season there's a tribe named Kloby 1. So
I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's Vanuatuan for Vanuatuan. It's Vanuatuan for hope.
the newest form of the
Yeah,
hope.
yeah. My only hope.
Some might say.
We really beat this one to the
Yeah,
ground.
okay.
Tribal Council this
I'll keep
season,
going.
very cool.
Okay.
I like that it's
Where did we find something that dethrones?
No.
Okay, so it's not
Australia.
better than the Outback.
Australian Outback's number 1. This is number 2 for
Okay.
sure.
Speaking of the Outback, we have a lot of people from the Outback in this season. We got Alicia coming back. We got Amber, of course, Jerry, Colby, Tina. Like, this is where we get, I feel, a majority of our returner stats from this season. I'm sure there's somebody I'm missing as well. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Wait,
Did
who'd you
hit them
say?
all?
We have Alicia,
Right.
Amber,
Right.
Tina, Colby,
Jerry.
Jerry. Is there more?
That looks
Number
about
crunch?
right. Let me look closer. Yeah, Alicia. That's everybody.
Okay.
I mean, Amber, obviously.
Nice.
We said Amber, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
And speaking of, I want to bring this up early because I want to make sure that we get to it. There was a challenge this season where the survivors did survivor trivia. And they answered these different questions. That was one of their challenges for immunity. The iconic one where Rob goes to Lex and says, try and save Amber if you can. It's one of the most iconic immunities, I'll say, just for the bit at the end. But still. And they have to answer a lot of different questions. We got some flashbacks. We got to see Austin again. We got to see Scottsdale Rob, who made a lot of appearances this season,
In
strangely
America's
enough.
Tribal Council,
They were trying to give that guy every award ever.
Oh, and the awards show.
Are we wrong? Is Scottsdale Rob cool?
No, he sucks.
Okay.
I think they just were like, we gotta get some sort of Thailand in there.
I mean,
we don't want to.
but it felt
Shadow
weird how
ban
much they were
Thailand.
pushing it. Like, I was uncomfortable with the amount of Scottsdale Rob that they were
He
advocating
definitely didn't
for.
belong in anywhere near the hottest or the sexiest man survivor.
Oh,
I know,
no.
right? Like
But
the
the
hunk
fight-
category.
Yeah, the fight made sense.
Yeah, that one I'll buy.
It's also a very one-sided fight because
Yeah.
what
It's
happens
not an
is
argument,
Scottsdale
but
Rob
yeah.
chokes Clay, and
that's
then he bitches about it later. Like
Much
that's the
later.
extent. It's not a beef if there's only one person who's angry. I forgot what I was.
Yeah.
thinking.
Also,
Anyway.
Straws.
how dare America give sexiest male survivor
To Colby.
to Colby when Ethan is sitting right there,
Yeah.
right fucking there.
Now here's I wanted to build to this at some point, but I think since we're already talking about it, this is the logical segue in. I have all the different candidates for the different categories that they had for America's Tribal Council, and I think it's only fair that we give our votes, right? Because we weren't Survivor fans at this point in time. We weren't able to vote by
True.
cellular wireless
Singular.
or what? Singular.
Singular wireless.
Okay. We weren't able to vote that way. Although I wonder if we text that number now, what would happen if they would
You get a personal phone call from Jeff.
from
Probst.
Jeff Probst? My God,
He's like, "What are you doing?"
this line has been dead. You are truly the Survivor superfan. You're voting on something that happened like years ago.
He goes, "Is this Goats and Game Bots?"
He already knows. All I recognize your voice, Andrew. So we had different categories here, right? We had best fight, sexiest hunk, sexiest babe, and best villain. And I want to give our takes on those things as well.
Okay.
Does that sound
Yes.
fair? Okay. So for best fight, we've got a lot of really good options. We got Alicia and Kimmy, who are fighting over the
finger
waving.
wag?
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't see it, but we were all wagging our fingers. We've got Scottsdale Rob versus Clay, the choking stupid backwoods hick moment. We've got Lex versus Rob, the I cannot help you moment that we got from this season. Super iconic.
Sorry, I cannot.
Yeah. Perfect. Boston Rob?
Pretty good impression,
yeah.
right?
Is he here?
Yeah.
No, that was me. That's
No,
Zach.
that was
just
Zach.
Yeah, hey.
We had Rupert versus Fair Play, and we also had Ted versus Gandia, which I thought was a very...
Yeah, that one was not cool.
Yeah, why the fuck would you air that again?
What's up, America?
Yeah.
Be cooler in 2004. I know you're not, but be cooler.
I am 150 to 200% sure you shouldn't have aired that.
Gross.
But out of those fights, the one that won for America was Rupert versus Fair Play. What do we think is the best fight?
Ted and Gantia. I'm
my
sorry,
God.
I had to.
No. And I think that one automatically is disqualified.
Yeah, fuck that.
That dispute goes way beyond the game. But of the other ones, Scottsdale Rob versus Clay, Lex versus Rob, Rupert versus Fair Play, Alicia. Alicia? Goodness, I was dancing all around it. I just couldn't.
Alopecia?
And Alderman?
Yeah. Out of all of those, what do we think is the best fight here at Goats and Gamebots? What's our official stance?
I like the Johnny Fairplay Rupert fight.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
so
I
you think
agree.
that holds up?
That's the greatest hero versus the
Okay.
greatest villain, right? It's classic.
All right, I won't try and convince you
classic.
on the Lex versus Rob front, which is
That's a good
where
one,
my
too.
vote would go.
Just
But
Lex
yeah.
is such a baby the whole time. It's an annoying fight.
I understand, but it's also up against Scottsdale Rob and the Backwoods Hick thing, so
Yeah.
you know.
Number 2.
Yeah. So the next category is sexiest hunk.
You know my take. It's Ethan.
Is that
Okay.
redundant? Aren't hunks already sexy?
Yeah, but it's which one is we're comparing the sexiness of the hunks.
Oh, okay.
It's-
Which of the sexy hunks is the sexiest?
Yeah,
hunk?
there's like a blanket level of sexiness that all of these have met. But we've got Ethan from Africa, Hunter from the Marquesas. They specifically called out Boston Rob got second. I love that Jeff was simping to Boston Rob as he said it. He was like, he didn't win it, but
It got second.
Run
You
around.
can't simp to Boston Rob. Boston Rob's not mediocre pussy. Boston
that's fair.
stellar
Premium.
pussy.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. We got both
He's a sip
a sip,
with 2 P's. Premium pussy.
He'd be sipping.
sipping. That's fair. Yeah. And Boston, and it would be weird to say Boston Rob was simping to Amber in this season because he was sipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was
Creating our own new terminology. But we got Ethan, Hunter, both Greg and Jervis from Borneo. Scottsdale Rob again,
unacceptable.
which, what the hell? I mean, come on. We got Savage, Alex from the Amazon, and Colby won. I have a feeling that's not going to be our opinion.
No. I can be persuaded to Boston Rob, even a
He was a runner-up.
Savage, but I think it's Ethan.
Okay.
Ethan is just classic
Yeah.
good looking.
Yeah.
Those curls, come on.
Yeah. How do
To
you feel,
die for.
Zach?
I mean, yeah, it's Ethan.
Ethan,
Ethan
yeah.
is
I'm
he's
not gonna argue
arguably
with
the
that.
best looking, just physically attractive wise. But also, there's something about Ethan after Winners at War, he became one of my favorite survivors of all time.
His story,
Sounds
his
incredible.
journey.
Well, yeah, and now that I follow him on Instagram, I just see how dope he is.
Yeah.
yeah, he's that's my boy.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And versus Colby, I mean, Colby is such the opposite.
We all know how I feel about Colby
Yeah.
Donaldson. I'm gonna try to sugarcoat it a little bit this episode because I went hard on him. last
No,
time,
don't. Go as
but-
hard
Okay,
as
fuck
possible.
Colby. How about that?
Right out the bat. What were you going to say, Andrew?
I think if America voted again,
It wouldn't be Colby?
it wouldn't be. I think it would be Ethan.
There also is another... Both of those guys have another season. If we were to vote now, it would change the opinion because Ethan just had Winners at War, and Colby had Heroes vs. Villains, which, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see how the legacy holds up or is tainted during that season.
It's true.
It'll be interesting. You don't quite know where it's going to go.
I
Where
have
the
a strong
third
feeling-
installment in the trilogy is.
I know.
I would say I have a strong feeling I still won't like Colby.
But he could pull it out in the fourth quarter.
Well, he didn't have me in the first half.
They had us.
At the end of the day, it's just a game, and I got God on my side.
Yeah. Well, when he mentioned it again, he was like, when you make a decision that you're comfortable with, like I did, you sleep really well. I'm starting to think that he doesn't sleep well because he mentions that in every single time when he talks about losing to Tina. So sexiest hunk, we all got Ethan, because I would agree. We also had sexiest babe, which was a category, and I gotta say, Jeff was kind of weird about it.
Well,
how do we feel about this?
sometimes when Jeff is talking, and I love you, Jeff, you know this.
This is also like 2004.
Yeah, and
Directly to Jeff right now.
Yeah, this is
Hey,
everyone
bro.
else. Stop listening.
If you're not Jeff Probst, keep scrolling.
But sometimes Jeff could be a little weird about. I think it's just in general, like 2004 was much more of a time of like, haha, look at this girl's body.
Yeah.
And 2020 is like, no, it's weird to do that on national TV.
Yeah. It's
So-
also like, this is young single Jeff. Let's not
Yeah.
forget like the fact that this season we got an iconic moment when Jeff hung out with Amber and Rob and took shotgun over Amber.
Yeah.
Like he's hanging out with them. He
Yeah.
is like
He's
young and single and looking to mingle, the same
a
as
friend.
these kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's next season we get him dating one of the contestants. So this is, this is young single Jeff. Let's not forget that.
and that's the thing too. Jeff is no longer that person.
Yeah.
He knows that was weird and
Yeah.
not good by today's standards, and he's not that. He's changed.
Yeah.
That's why we love him. We still stand you, Jeff.
Yeah. But again, during that bit, it got weird at times. The sexiest hunk was like a
Yeah,
a tongue-in-cheek
like a,
thing. Like, yeah, but like there was a lot of like ow ows in the ladies one, and it was just a weird vibe. But we had Jenna and Heidi from the Amazon. I guess they ran on the same ticket. No, I guess it was two. Heidi, goodness gracious. I'm having a hard time today. Heidi and Jenna, Colleen, Elizabeth from the Outback, Jerry, Sarah from the Marquesas, Queen Cleopatra, they call her, Alicia, Aaron from Thailand, Dara from Pearl Islands, and then Amber, of course. Where do you guys feel? Who's the sexiest babe out of those?
Oh, I get to go first?
Obviously.
As the horniest member of the group,
as the
of course.
horniest, okay.
It's your birthright.
I think I'm going to go with Jenna.
Jenna?
Yeah, Jenna's a babe.
I don't think Jenna was on the list.
What?
Oh, Jenna
Yeah.
from the Amazon. I was thinking Jenna Lewis, just because she's fresh on the mind from this season. But Jenna, Jenna Maresca.
Jenna Marasco from the Amazon. Shorty is very bad. Shorty bad.
What you got, Andrew?
I think I have to agree with America.
You think it was Amber?
I think it's Amber.
Okay.
Amber would be my second.
I would.
Jenna's my second.
Okay.
Okay.
Taste.
I would
Man of
make
taste.
a case for the original America's Sweetheart Colleen, or I think Alicia combined on her 2 seasons is looking pretty good.
Both good choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is.
Beautiful.
There is no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the correct
That's the
answer.
correct
Is
answer.
all of them,
Yes.
except for Amber from Thailand felt like a weird shoe-in. Jeff was like, especially like speaks for itself.
That
And I was
speaks
like,
for
does
itself.
it? Does it, Jeff? You might need to explain it for us. Come on.
Also, Sheehan is clearly
The babe,
the babe of
Thailand.
that season.
Yeah.
And Sheehan,
Well,
I got
okay.
a lot to say about Sheehan.
Come
this
on,
episode.
man. You said she's clearly the babe of that season, but we gave it to Brian's wife. Let
That's
us
true.
not forget.
Brian's wife is clearly the babe of that season.
All right, and Sheehan's the
What
runner-up.
if Brian's
Obvious.
wife was in the running for this? It was like sexiest
And
babe, and also
Brian's
this
wife?
person's loved one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot we had a write-in category, and everybody just did Brian's wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was also best villain, which was Hatch, Jerry, Brian from Thailand, Rob C, and Johnny Fairplay, and Fairplay won. Do we agree with that assessment, or we want to push the issue?
Yeah, it's fair play.
Yeah.
It's gotta be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Rob C is a villain.
No.
He's a villain in the he's like the purple emoji with the horns.
Yeah.
That kind of a villain.
That is perfect.
He's like, ooh, I'm so good at Survivor. Where's Johnny Fairplay's like, fat girls love me. I don't know why I went to a southern accent.
You love to hate Fair Play.
Yeah.
Which is a part I think. In order to be a good villain, you gotta love to hate him.
Yeah.
And Rob C I love him, unironically. Like he has some moments
Rob's
that are
great. Yeah.
legit funny. Yeah.
I know.
I like
Andrew's-
Rob a lot more after this season.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It was one of my notes is it was hard to watch him go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would've-
Getting him blindsided like that was
the
rough.
one regret I have of this season is that Rob C just goes way too early.
Yeah, Rob C is
I
not
remember the
in
first
this
time.
season,
Yeah,
and
the
it's
first-
kind of a tragedy.
The first time I watched this season, I remember like being super like sad about that.
Although for a
Goes
season that he's not in, we did get a gold soundbite out of it, which was this:
Boston Rob and Amber are gonna do it.
Boston Rob and Amber are gonna do it.
Oh, okay, thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So we switched headphones. Andrew has the headphones.
Yeah, I'm not.
I
wearing
have the
stuff.
headphones this time, and it is spectacular. I
Yeah.
finally know what all the hype's about.
Right. So we
kinda-
still haven't fixed it. We're just lazy.
That kind of hurt my ears, so
Oh, yeah.
it's fine with me.
Switching it up. But I guess it's my turn next. Although it'd be weird to press sounds that I can't hear.
Probst would have headphones.
Maybe
You
we
would
should
have
just get a
headphones.
third pair of headphones.
Yeah.
Next. That might be a better solution.
You're right.
Just solve our technological issues once and for all.
One thing at a time.
But yeah, so I mean, the other thing is, since we're on the topic of America's Tribal Council, we'll just cover that straight up first before we get into this season itself, because it's fresh, you know.
We're half an hour in. Almost.
Yeah,
No, just
we
20.
had Rupert, Tom, Boston Rob, and Colby.
Yes.
Yeah, Colby, who are our final four for the winner of this $1 million just for being a stand-up dude. We agree with the Rupert pick there.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna push for Colby, right?
I would have picked Boston Rob.
Boston Rob. I think that's a good.
That's my king.
Do you think Boston Rob was robbed?
He was robbed of the first of all stars.
He was Boston robbed.
Yeah, I don't think he was robbed. Obviously, like America's favorite player is Rupert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Understandably.
think. Yeah, and when you compare the two, I can see why Rupert won. But I mean, Boston Rob out of those four, that's my favorite, no doubt.
Yeah, Boston Rob's also my favorite.
my
The only
fucking guy.
thing is, I also understand America's point of view of like, Boston Rob might not have won this season,
Yeah.
but he really made out.
He
It's
is.
his season, man.
Yeah, that's what Jeff said. He's like, all due respect, it's your season, man.
One
And
vote
you-
away, got
yeah.
the girl, won a bunch of cash.
And Rupert was robbed his first season,
Yeah.
and then just like
Yeah.
slightly outplayed this season and was loved
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah, and again, we all knew Rupert's name and we didn't watch Survivor. So that
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
speaks to the
yeah.
cultural impact Rupert had. And if you're going to give somebody $1 million just for putting Survivor like in the foreground of people's minds, it's Rupert.
It's Rupert.
It's
There's going to be
Rupert.
enough people going to bat for him. But I mean, only person to win $1 million without winning the game. And I will say this too. I don't think Rupert. I don't know if there's a season that Rupert wins ever.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's Rupert, and I mean Jenna herself, like Jenna Lewis, was like, you need to like inform
Oops.
Rupert. You need to
Someone's
inform
popular.
Rupert on what is best for him. You know,
Yeah.
like he's not good at playing the game. You need to explain it to him in simple words, essentially. So I don't think Rupert's ever going to win. Give him $1 million now. Give Boston Rob the chance to come back and win because he's more capable of it than Rupert is. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Also, no one would ever take Rupert to the end.
Yeah, this was the season Rupert had to win if he was going to win.
Yeah.
And he, in a way, does. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wins America's heart.
yeah.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
isn't that all you want? That was no.
So
You
much
don't.
Is
for
it?
my
Is it?
dreams.
You don't.
Is that what you want?
I'm glad that he can finally afford that recording studio.
Yeah. Right. To
And
record
his
dreams.
Snake Sanctuary.
Yeah. With $1 million, you can do both. You don't
Yeah.
have to choose a dream. You know. So
He started a band of snakes.
Yeah.
So much for my dreams.
So much for my dreams.
Was
And now
there a
we can do
soundbite
it.
going?
It was. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel bad. I got the headphones on now.
Was it just the so much for my dreams?
It was
part?
just
Okay.
so much for my dreams.
I was
I
like-
shortened it because
Good.
that-
I was gonna say if that was the case, then I would have been talking over that whole thing.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
You got to become quicker and more agile about what the sound effects are going to be.
This is my first rodeo.
Yeah.
That's true.
The other thing, right off the bat this season, like, we got 3 starting tribes. Again, we mentioned
First
them.
time ever.
Yeah,
Number
Shakira, Sebulba, Boingo Boingo,
Look that up.
Mogo Mogo.
Mogo, which is a first. And how do we feel about 3 starting tribes? Like it? Love it? Hate it?
I love it.
Yeah?
I'm a big fan of 3 starting tribes.
Yeah?
Honestly, not every season nails it. There's some bad seasons that start with 3, but there's a couple really good seasons that start with 3 tribes, and this is one of them. I'm always a fan of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important, like how they did it with like the dissolving of the tribe.
Yeah, that
is
was
cool. I don't
huge.
I don't think there
Well-
needs to be 3 tribes past like 14 contestants.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
once you start nearing the merge, start to, like, whittle it down.
Especially if one tribe is just floundering, like Mogo Mogo was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the 3 starting tribes led to one of the most interesting pre-merges we've ever seen. Because there's so much happening on each beach, and there's 3 different dynamics that you get to check in on, right? Like on Shakira, you got Boston Rob and Amber, who are, have a blooming love story going on. And it's a team full of misfits that's just fun to watch. On Saboga, we have Rupert and Jerry constantly clashing, as well as Ethan, like, trying to get a stranglehold, or just a foothold,
Yeah, I was saying
right?
he played
Nobody
from
gave
the-
him anything.
Ethan played from the bottom this whole game.
Yeah.
And shout out to him for lasting as long as he did.
Yeah. And in Mogo Mogo, we have, like, legends like Richard Hatch and Colby that are, like, trying to figure out how they can exist within this new game. And also Kathy and Lex, who are playing some great, spitting some game. So I think that because of the 3 tribes setup, we get a lot of really interesting things. The pre-merge, everything was moving constantly. It was not like the lines were drawn once and then they never moved again. Or, it was just 2 tribe dynamics. There was so much going on that it was so interesting all the time. There was just so much happening.
Yeah, it's really like a sequel to a good movie, It's like all your favorite people are back. You get to watch them do it all over again and even better this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
you
mean-
don't spend that time getting to know
Yeah.
them. You just jump in and
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why with like all returner seasons, whether they're good or bad, they're always enjoyable,
Yeah.
Dare I say this is the real Empire Strikes Back of the Star Wars. God damn it,
Oh.
the Survivor universe.
Welcome
I
back
liked
to
where
the
it
Star
was
Wars
going.
pod.
I liked where it was going.
No, I get you.
Just disappointed in myself.
I wouldn't say that. This is what I will say about this season. As much as I like it, and it's, again, prior to this point, no returners. This is the first time returners have ever happened. I think this falls into a trap that some other first or second time returner seasons fall into, which is the pre-merge, hella interesting, so much going on, it's fun, it's like balls to the wall, kind of crazy. But then in the second half, it kind of tightens up to a detrimental point, where it's just a pagonging or, maintaining tribe lines.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of, like, again, in the post-merge of this game, Boston Rob and Amber ran it all the way through the end. But in the beginning, there was so much moving around and so much with all the different egos and personalities that, like, it was so much fun. So I think that's sort of like there are a couple other returner seasons I can think about that are kind of like that. I think that, as far as returner seasons go, it's the first of its kind, starts out really strong, and then it just kind of is inevitable how dominant the people in the end of the game are playing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get away from it.
Yeah. I mean, Rob gets 1 vote cast against him this whole game.
Yeah. Like, that's insane.
For the guy running the show that everyone seemed to hate so much.
Right?
And it's funny because, like, you look at, like, especially the Lex scenario, Amber ended up getting those votes, not Rob.
Yeah.
Like, her, Lex and Kathy voted for Amber. It's kind of crazy when you look at it. I mean, like, Amber, I think, obviously does her part. I don't think Rob can dominate as hard as he did without her.
Yeah.
But, like, it's very obvious. Like, as much as they are a duo, Boss and Rob was just calling the shots from day one. Like, he had that shit on lock.
Yeah. And
the guy
that,
ran it.
And that's the other thing. Like, we continually talk about this, but you can be operating on that higher level than the game. And I think Boston Rob at this point is, he thinks there will be more respect for playing the game as hard as he does than there actually exists. Like, Lex and Kathy, and the thing that I thought was weird, Alicia was salty. extremely salty.
Yeah, she was
Big
really
Tom
upset.
was extremely salty. Like, there are some people that, like, I understand the Lex and Kathy situation is a little bit different, and there's some, like, really genuine hurt feelings there. But some of the other people that had no right to be salty, they were just like, you gave me your word once. And it's like, get out of the way. We've got, like, legitimate friendships burning right here.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
like, Lex was like, oh, you'll hold...
You sold
That-
out your friends for a stack of greenbacks.
Yeah. No, we're like, maybe they were friends a little beforehand, but, like, within the context of the game, obviously Boston Rob's allegiances are to his tribe, Shapira.
Yeah.
And to Amber, obviously. Why would Lex even be so offended
Yeah.
that, like, he thought he would rank above any of those people?
Yeah.
That
And
was on Lex for even believing that Boston Rob would honor his word. Like, that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for Lex.
And especially Lex doing the same thing to Ethan.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that's, it's just business. Like, I know it's hard for you to see that we can have a friendship outside of, like, a relationship in the game. And then the second that it comes back and bites him in the ass, like, it's a different story of, like, it's not just a game. Like, you were the one that was saying it's just a game, you know?
Yeah.
So it's inevitably, like, there was that debate at the reunion that was like, is this just a game or can it be more than that? And I think the difficulty in that is, like, yes, it's more than just a game of chess. You are using social capital, you're using your relationships to advance you in this social game. But the thing that is difficult is the person that is saying that is the same one that is being a hypocrite in how the game is played and is saying the game can't exist without relationships except when it happens to me. And then that's when, it crosses the line. So it's inevitably a little bit sad to see someone that we loved as much as Lex kind of go down the path of, like, self-righteousness or, There was just a lot of ego this season that I think shined through ultimately.
Lots of ego.
Very much.
Of, like, the fact that everybody gets the All-Star title, there's a lot of, like, hurt feelings when you're voted out or thinking that you're the main character because you were in the season you were in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
Or that, like, you know the game because you've played it. Like,
yeah.
You understand that everyone else has played it too, but, like, you have this mentality of, I've done it. I know how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. And whereas it should make you feel on an equal playing field, I think it made some people feel like they were special. And
Like Richard Hatch.
Yeah.
Felt like he was hot shit coming into this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also just Richard
Also,
Hatch.
yeah,
Do you remember,
that's
like,
true.
episode 1, he's like, I wrote the check already. But that being said, there were some cool, like, we've already seen Kathy go through her growth, and then she comes in confident and, like, starts calling the shots and, is in with 2 different tribes. So, like, it's the flip side of that coin where everybody has an ego, but you come in with more confidence and the gameplay is elevated because of that.
Everybody knew what they were doing coming in.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, your first time playing, even if you've seen a season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons, I don't think you really know what it is until you do it.
Yeah.
And all of these people did it. They know what it is.
Exactly.
And they were prepared for it.
Yeah. But, I think that a lot of this, it's an unknown frontier at this point. Like, returner seasons have never happened, so it is inevitably a gamble. I mean, in certain ways it's a lock because you're bringing back somebody that you know is marketable and know is entertaining and that America loves, like Colby, but you're also bringing back, people who have had time to reflect on their experience, process it, and develop an ego surrounding it. So it's inevitably a little bit of a double-edged sword. But we're going to take a real quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll continue the talk about Survivor All-Stars. This season of Survivor is brought to you by Ethan's ex-girlfriends. It doesn't matter if you're Jenna Maraska or Amber. You will still have to live with knowing that he went on to date Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He went on to date Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not sure the timeline on that. It could have been before them. But yeah, a lot of Ethan's ex-girlfriends in this season, and also Jennifer Love Hewitt is one of the other ex-girlfriends. Yeah. So when we say Ethan is sexy as hunk, honestly, I think that's what America thinks too.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Ethan pulls.
He does.
Damn.
It's objectively true. There's no way he doesn't. But that was another cool thing this season is we got a lot of like, again, we got the Colby and Jerry 2.0. We got Ethan and Boston Rob clearly like trying to impress Amber. Like a little bit of jealousy.
Yeah, in a real measurement contest.
Yeah, it was really a pissing contest, truly. But we got a lot of fun
Boston
moments
Rob
with it.
kept pulling out.
I know, right? He kept
winning.
So I don't know what that means, but
Amber picked the right choice for her.
yeah. And then again, let's not forget, there was a lot of, in the reunion, they were talking so much about who was ending up with who.
They called out Ethan and Jenna.
Yeah, Ethan and Jenna dating.
Mm-hmm.
We also had Jenna Lewis getting married, and Richard Hatch dating the Argentinian receptionist at the hotel they went to in the pre-merge vacation.
Yep.
So,
Epic.
again, as people who love here on Goats and Gamebots,
Do love.
not only is Rob and Amber the star of the season, just love in general.
Love in general.
A lot of it to go around.
Who's the winner of
just
this
like,
season? Love.
Love, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like what they taught us in film school writing classes. Love wins, right?
love wins. It does.
Love
Always
conquers
wins.
all. I had a teacher who like literally is like, if you're writing a script, you got to make sure you have like a theme, like love conquers all.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's the go-to. I
go-to.
had countless classes where that was
Yeah,
the
and it didn't matter how many times you
example.
said it. So many writers just didn't understand that you need themes.
yeah.
Like love conquers all.
Yeah, it's a good, it's sort of your blanket statement one, you know. It's hard to argue with that.
Exactly.
But yeah, we got Rob and Amber proposing in the reunion as well, which is a huge moment.
I
Right
said
before the votes are read, like,
right. I said last time that Pearl Islands was the best reunion. This
is the best reunion.
is the best reunion.
It's definitely to quote Jeff, it's the nuttiest reunion. He said that.
It just reeks of a Jerry Springer Maury kind of vibe.
It does.
Like they're all just yelling at each other. The audience is booing back.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Jeff to reveal that like Amber's pregnant. It is nuts.
Yeah. This reunion had everything.
Truly.
Rob and Amber getting married, Jerry rage quitting from the reunion show altogether, Rob C trying to get his voice in.
Not
Yeah, Amber giving
Classic.
Cheyenne a Chevy Equinox just because.
that sick I Heart Rob t-shirt,
Oh yeah, let's not forget about that.
which we here at Goats and Gamebots will get
Yeah, we're actually
3 of,
we're wearing them right now.
if only.
Since we're talking about the reunion, can we talk about how Kathy referred to Rob as the Rob father?
The
Yeah.
Rob father.
That's fucking sick.
That
Yeah.
is sick.
The Rob father.
That is.
Yeah.
I know that I will never be that cool to have a cool nickname like that.
Well, you gotta have a
so-
cooler name in order to have.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Rob.
What would
just
you do
fits
if I
in
just started
perfectly.
calling you Andy?
If you had asked me 15 years ago,
15 years ago.
can I call you Andy? Probably maybe even like 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Can I call you Andy? I would have.
No. You're only
Rage.
Andrew.
All of my
Yeah.
rage would have
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
I was
Okay.
Andrew.
He would have
I get
choked
it.
you.
Yeah.
And then,
Backwoods.
yeah,
like.
I would have Scottsdale robbed you.
Okay.
Get the Scottsdale Rob treatment.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, my friends have worn me down on the Andy thing. So now it's just like, whatever. I
Andy,
don't
what's
care.
going on, Andy?
Yeah.
Partykan in the
Nah,
yeah.
Well,
That's
I
how
think.
they talk, right?
Yeah.
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 Everyone in New England just has that accent no matter where
Hi, Andy. I'm going to see the Sox.
you're from. Go see the Sox. What do
Throwing
you
the-
think about
they're throwing
Tommy
wicked
Brady
at-
leaving, huh?
Wicked had curveballs.
Wicked had.
Tony Brady?
No, Tommy.
Tommy.
Little Tommy.
Brady.
TB12, Tommy.
6 rings.
Oh, baby.
Not anymore though.
Not anymore.
Well, he can
Yeah.
still get a
Now we
ring.
got that Cam Newton.
He's still got 6 rings.
That's-
Cam
it's
Newton?
not-
Cam Newton don't have no 6
No,
rings.
Tom Brady got 6
Oh,
rings.
yeah.
No matter where
Tommy?
he goes.
Tommy's got 6 rings.
All right.
Welcome
Let's
back to the
stop.
Patriots podcast.
If only, man.
We're not doing the Patriots
I
podcast.
I know, because it would just be me sucking Tom Brady's dick for 12 episodes.
You would be the game bot and we would be the goats. We would not want to.
I wouldn't
want
want to be on that.
Yeah, yeah. Just a
Good.
victim. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of the reunion summed up. We kind of worked in reverse this episode. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was the. Here's the thing.
We
We got
sprinkled
America's.
in. I think we're doing fine. We sprinkled
Yeah.
in some of the season.
Yeah, we got America's
We're covering
Tribal
all our
Council,
bases.
right? And
Which
then
is
we
a first.
and the reunion, which are both so crazy.
Nuts.
that like we almost needed to verbally process
Right.
it. So we need to get it off our chest. I think this might be an eclectic episode just based off the vibe both of those left us. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be all over the place.
It's
And this
also
is an all
like
over the place season.
It's an all-star season, right? We came in, we know what's going on. Like the people listening to this episode, right? Like you guys know what's going on with this season
Yeah.
too. We don't need to tell you like
know the deal.
Well, see, this is Ethan and here's his deal. Like you know his deal.
Yeah, come on.
He's hot.
That's his
bona
deal.
fide.
That's his deal.
He dates only 10s.
He's dating
That's
the
his
Stunners.
Some 11s even.
Yeah. Wait, who are you, Amber or Jennifer Love Hewitt?
I'm looking at you, 2004 Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's true. That's like back in the day, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Not that
Is that
current
when he
Jennifer
dated
Love
her?
Hewitt isn't.
2004?
No, he was dating Jenna in 2004. I don't know when. Number crunch.
Yeah,
when
I'm
he
not
dated
sure
No.
when.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No.
I decide what gets number crunched.
Request denied.
It's got to be before Jenna, right? Because they're together until 2013.
That's true. It has to
And
be
post
before Jenna.
2013, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Is she even really a person, right? She's not.
We don't know.
Also,
If you
relevant.
have any information regarding
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, please contact the Goats and Game Bots at gmail.com.
That is a real email.
That is our email. You can shoot it our way.
I can bleep it if you get.
No.
Just we want to hear from somebody.
Right. Well, shit. Should we talk more about Rob?
Boston or
Rob.
Sesternino?
Or Scottsdale.
Boston
Or
Rob.
Scottsdale, yeah.
Boston Rob. All right.
Let's talk about
Here's
Rob
a question.
Mariano.
Yeah, Rob Mariano from Boston. Do we think if he knocks it out of the park at Final Tribal, does he win?
No.
You don't think that anything could have changed Ethan, or not Ethan's.
Lex.
We had Lex, Tom, who else voted for Amber? Alicia
Sheehan.
and Sheehan.
Here's the thing. I think if Rob does better at Tribal Council, maybe he wins Sheehan's
He
vote.
wins Sheehan, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's very close. And also, the other thing is, I thought Rob was going to lose by a larger margin because I thought Kathy was not going to vote for him. But
Kathy's a real one.
Yeah, right? Like,
Kathy,
this is...
I love Kathy.
This is a
Kathy's
big
my
moment for Kathy
homegirl.
because Kathy is
I
willing
love
to
her.
say, I am hurt by what you did, but you still played a better game. I'm going to vote for
Respect.
you.
Yeah, that was
She's an
amazing.
emotional person. Like we learned that in our
Yeah.
cases, and even this, like she's fucking like I have this in my notes. Like I'm like Kathy's a fucking badass in this season because like
Yeah.
really up until near the end when she gets voted out, she's very like cool, calm, and collected, like badass Kathy. I think when the Lex stuff went down, we kind of saw a couple moments where we were like, okay, Kathy, calm down.
Yeah.
But she's just emotional, you know. She loses control sometimes, but
And also,
I think,
she had a pre-established relationship with Rob.
yes, and that's
what
probably
she was emotional
exactly.
over.
And so, like, when in the end, when she's able to like put that all aside and focus on the game,
Yeah.
be like, hey, man, I respect it.
And
Good for you.
yeah, I mean, Kathy, again, in the
Badass.
Marquesas, we just saw Kathy with her back against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Kathy coming in confident and, like, knowing that, like, you know, I think there is a little bit of confidence with the pre-merge or the pre-game stuff that went on in terms of, like, I know I'm connected, I know I'm good, I know these people, I'm a likable person, I'm good to go. So I think there's an element of that in there, but she absolutely nails it. Like, she
Love her.
in charge is great. There's that reward, which I think is, I'll say it, I think the best reward Survivor has ever done, where Shapira wins a 94-foot luxury yacht,
Oh, yeah.
and they are able to steal one of the opposing tribe's members to go hang out with them, and then that yacht, like, parks, and then they go to, like, a waterfall oasis. And the entire time, there's an open bar, there's drinks, there's a feast, there's desserts when they get to the island, and then they just kind of drop Kathy off while Mogo Mogo's at Tribal Council.
Yeah, that was the other thing that they
Yeah, she was
exempt
immune.
Kathy from Tribal Council.
Yeah, so-
I agree with you. That's their... I will say that the fridge in the Amazon is still a great, filled with cherry Coke, but this is the most practical.
So this is even better than the cherry Coke fridge. You're willing
Unfortunately,
to say it? Okay. But yeah, they're golfing out the back. They've got
Uh-huh.
the drinks flowing. Like, Kathy feels more comfortable with that. I mean, and she kind of touched on a big point, is like, Shapira is having fun. And they're fun to watch. And I think that's why we're so endeared to the people on the Shapira tribe, like Rupert. I said Rupert. Oh my goodness.
Bound to happen.
Rupert, Big Tom, like,
Yeah.
all those characters are
Yeah,
Rob and
then,
Amber.
Yeah, like, when Sheehan and Rupert got dissolved into Shapira, it only made them better.
It was Jerry and
It was Jerry.
or Jenna. Jenna and Rupert.
Jenna, and
Yeah.
But it only made them better.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing that kept the pre-merge sort of always moving around, is that, again, there was a tribe dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a tribe swap. And then after that, 2 episodes later, they did a tribe swap.
Yeah.
Or 3 episodes, or whatever it is.
Whatever it was.
But yeah, it was constantly moving, constantly shifting. They kept it interesting enough that, like, you almost didn't know where to look. And that's why I was kind of on information, like, overload for the first 5 episodes, because there's, like, Hatch kills a shark. Like, there's a
And
whole
gets
moment
bit by
there.
that shark.
Right? And,
Right.
like, there's just so much going on that it's hard to keep track of all of it. Jenna goes home. Sue goes home. Like, there's a lot that happens.
On that Hatch versus the shark, what the fuck was Hatch expecting? He stuck his hand right in front of a shark's mouth.
Yeah.
What do you expect? The shark's gonna bite you. That was
Yeah.
his own fault.
He said the shark was like bit on him for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
And then he, like, swam over to a rock and, like,
Yeah.
bashed its head against it.
How bored do you
Um,
think that shark was? He's like, man, all
Yeah.
I know, I got a bite on this motherfucker until he lets me go, and then boom, dead.
But I love this is the beginning installment in a shark series that happens on Survivor. There's a lot of,
Wow.
like, shark related incidents, I feel.
Shark anthology.
Yeah, and this is like the first one.
All right. I
so-
look forward to seeing the
Yeah,
rest
we'll
of them.
we'll see whether or not sharks get the upper hand ultimately in the end.
Sharks always win. Haven't
Yeah.
you seen Shark Week?
You guys remember when Rudy drank dirty water? Listen, we don't get a lot of Rudy action this season.
Yeah.
but what we do get is
is
classic Rudy.
Yeah, it really is.
The man just like everyone's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You're
Oh,
gonna
I'll drink the
die."
dirty water. It doesn't matter. I drank much worse.
Oh, it adds a little
It
bit of
doesn't
flavor.
matter. What, the dirt adds flavor. It's fine.
It's spice. What, you don't like spice?
I need a parasite right now. What is this accent?
Again, we
I
default
need
to
a
New England
parasite.
area. Anyway,
Anyways,
the
shout out
Rupert that
Rudy.
we do get.
Rest in peace.
I said Rupert.
You said
again.
Rupert.
Goodness,
Freudian,
I just got Rupert
Freudian
on the brain.
slip.
Yeah, Rudy. The Rupert.
Rudy. His name is Rudy.
The Rudy.
Take a second.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take over.
Yeah, please do.
Welcome back to the We Gotta Get Our Shit Together
Yeah.
podcast.
This is a good transition though, because this season there was a recap episode, and Andrew and I
Alright.
both sat down and we watched it. But
Before we start anything,
yeah, what do you want to say?
I understand why we've never watched a single one of these
Yeah.
closer look episodes.
It's mostly shit you already know.
It is everything you have already seen with about 5 to 8 minutes of new footage.
Yeah.
That I understand why
Why
it
they
was
didn't.
cut.
Yeah.
These episodes are so pointless.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they were even.
Cash grab, dude.
Oh.
Yeah,
I want the ratings.
and that's why Zach
Another week of
sat out.
ads. Yeah.
But I mean, if there was ever a season 2 watch it was
Yeah.
this season.
Which
So-
is why we did.
Yeah, which is why Andrew and I sat through it. But because of that, we came up with kind of a fun game that we thought we could do for fire tokens here. That was, did this or did this not happen in the recap? So we're going to do 1v1 situations here, individual immunity challenges, if you will, reward, I guess, if you're winning fire tokens, where we will try and we'll say something and you got to tell us if it did or didn't happen in the reunion, Zach. Or, pardon me, not the reunion, in the recap. And if we trick you, then we get a fire token. If you answer correctly, you get a fire token. So you have 2 times the opportunities to get fire tokens, but we're incentivized by our own fire token situation. So I'm going to say, I think, Andrew, you and I get 3 each.
Okay.
We get 3 moments. Did it or did it not happen?
True or false?
Yeah, true or false. So do you want to start, or you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. So in the recap episode, did this happen? True or false? Shapira made friendship necklaces.
False.
It's actually true. Yeah. So
heard the horns.
Yeah, those were air horns. I get a
horns
fire
for
token in that
Jack.
situation. Yeah. So I get a fire token there.
All right, here's mine. Colby Donaldson, who we are all very familiar with.
Fuck them.
Fuck him. Was so chafed in his dick region that he just walked around for like hours on end trying so hard to unchafe his dick.
Did this or did this not
dick
happen?
region. This happened.
This did happen.
All right.
That's too
so-
specific to be
yeah.
fake. And I'm really happy to hear it because fuck that guy.
Yeah, so-
I
so
hope he's head chafing the whole
Zach
time.
wins a fire token for Colby's chafed dick.
go.
Okay, so in the reunion or the recap, pardon me, I keep saying that. Did we or did we not see a good extra minute of people giving their hot takes on Jenna's quit?
We did not.
We did not. That's correct.
Good.
Did not happen. So you get another fire token. there.
God.
I'm gonna stop pressing the air horns button because it's loud and obnoxious.
Understandable. I was gonna say sorry. No, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that's not true because there's no one should have had a take on it in the first place.
Yeah.
The only take that there should have been yeah.
We
go
respect
do it.
her.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
a few people said, right? Like, yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. There's a couple people. I don't know.
Yeah.
This season's got a lot of like very like uncomfortable moments like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
mean,
need to
by-
hear everyone's takes on these issues.
Exactly.
When shit happens, Survivor just like handle it better, man.
Yes. All right, Andrew, I believe it's your turn.
Did this or did this not happen? Big Tom quotes Shakespeare.
That happened.
That did not
That did
happen.
not happen.
Instead, he talked so much nonsense that they physically could not understand him.
Sounds about right.
He was
yeah.
lying on the beach, half dead, and they could not understand him.
Yeah. So the bit I believe that happened was they need a translator for Big Tom.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So Andrew gets that point there. We each get one more each, right?
I have 2 so far.
Yeah, you've got 2 points. Andrew and I both have 1. These are
Cool.
fire tokens, not points. That also still have no value whatsoever.
Yeah.
We're
We'll
not
figure
doing
it out
anything
one
with
day.
it. Yeah. Did Boston Rob write an A on his arm for Amber in the recap episode?
That like is the question. Do you see him doing it? Because I know for a fact he has an A on his arm.
Yeah, but did that or did that not happen?
Did you see it in
recap
the episode?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, actually, I was going to try and trick you there. It happens, the recap episode happens before that does.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
real thing that
makes
happens,
sense. Yeah.
but it doesn't happen till after this episode.
That was good. Good trick question. But
anyway,
I'm smart.
it didn't
That's
get
3 fire
past you.
tokens.
All right, Andrew, you got one more.
And finally, did this or did this not happen? Mogo Mogo, as a reward, gets coffee, and they drink too much of it, and just are so wired.
That does not happen.
That happens.
That does happen.
What?
Yeah.
They get coffee as a reward, and
When?
they make this like fake coffee. They apparently don't show it, and they get this coffee. They make this fake coffee from the beans.
No, you know what it is? That reward where you get to win supplies. It was right after Sue left.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
could like hit things and then get them in the basket, and you not only won shish kebabs, but you won all your items. And one
Oh,
of the items was
was
coffee
coffee.
beans, and Mocha Mocha won.
And they drank
Yeah.
too much of it, and they were so wired. Colby was talking at least 45 words a second. He was going so fast.
Yeah, he
sounds
was really
insane.
tripping out.
I love
So-
caffeine. That would be an awesome experience.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I did a little bit of math on our fire token situation. I think we have a tie right now. We got Andrew and Zach with 10 fire tokens, and me with 7. Because Andrew,
Yeah.
you won 2 out of this game. Zach,
Uh-huh.
you won 3.
Yep.
So that evens you guys out.
does it?
Yep.
Ah.
And I, as always, am in last place. And sometime soon we will hopefully figure out some things that we can actually spend our fire tokens on.
I don't believe it.
Here's I'm
Can
actually
I buy an intro?
yeah.
Next week's
buy a favorable
episode.
intro?
Can I give you 5 fire tokens?
Oh yeah.
That's how we should do it.
I want you to call me the sexiest boy in Chicago.
Okay, you get to write your own intro for like 5 fire tokens.
or
right?
you could write, like I could write Zach's.
Oh,
that's gonna be a little
like
heftier.
a sabotage.
That's a
It's gonna be a
6.
6 or
That's
7.
I was also thinking once we start getting to like if you save your fire tokens, right, at like 50 or something, you get like a cameo from a survivor of your
Whoa.
choice, and it can say
So it
whatever
turns
you
into
want.
real money.
Yeah, right. Like
Who's buying the cameo?
at a certain point.
It's split between whoever isn't paying the fire tokens.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll figure
clearly
it out.
we
Yeah,
have
we'll
much
figure
to
it out.
discuss about
Within reason. I'm not going to be like, go get me a Boston
Anyway.
Rob one that costs $800.
Again, we actually got to sit down and refine this system on a time where we're not doing an episode. But yeah, so that was our fun little recap game there.
Closer look episodes are pointless.
Yeah, we want to say that up front.
Yeah. Do you guys at least feel like you got a closer look?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't.
Well then,
Yeah.
clearly,
Not
pointless.
really. So
They didn't even achieve the titular goal.
yeah,
Jesus.
it was not a closer look. It was sort of a different look.
It was more
It
like
wasn't
a
even.
broad,
It was
a
a
broad
recap.
examination.
Yeah,
It was a recap of what you've already seen.
That's true. It wasn't the best there. We're gonna take another real quick ad break, and when we come back, we should have another very special guest in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see
Wonder
who it
who
is.
it's gonna
Stay
be.
tuned right after this ad break.
She and.
This season of Survivor is brought to you by the Home Depot Housemaking Kit. Are you homeless? Then get yourself one Home Depot Housemaking Kit. If you're like Rob, you can build a kick-ass shelter.
That
Welcome back.
challenge
Yeah,
where Rob, like that was Rob's challenge,
it was.
where they gave them that thing.
And even it was when Amber kind of like fell in love with Rob, right? Like she was like, I noticed he's like really attractive. I was flirting for strategy in the beginning, but like it's changed now.
That's where he became hot.
Yeah. And I think there's no better segue into who our special guest for this episode is.
I'm very excited to have him back on the show.
I am too. We weren't sure if it was going to happen, but I'm proud to say we are going to have Boston Rob back on the podcast.
I know. Live and in stereo.
Yes.
He is here.
Yeah. Why don't you come on in, Boston Rob?
I'm already sitting down.
Oh,
Boston
you
Rob.
snuck up on us,
What's up,
Rob.
guys?
Yeah.
How's it going?
So stealthy.
Just also
It's
for
me again.
reference, I feel like we have to say
Yeah.
Zach stepped out because he had to go put money in the meter,
I know.
which is how
Can
does
you
this keep
believe it?
happening?
I know
I
he's
know.
the one
Back
that's
to back times.
Yeah, it's not that he doesn't like you. I
He
swear.
loves you.
Okay.
He talks about you all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
no, we're good.
um,
We go back.
Yeah. It just hasn't worked out so far. But hopefully
will.
one day. Yeah.
It
It's
will.
okay.
Um,
it's okay.
But thank
I'm
you.
happy to see you guys, though.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're back, Rob.
Yeah.
How have things
Good to
been
be
in
here.
your life since last time we talked? Winners at War has aired. Anything new in your life since that point?
No.
No, nothing.
Nothing is new.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Everything is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I see you on Instagram remodeling your house.
Yeah,
How's
I've
that
been-
going?
Been doing a lot of the construction work. Mariano construction is
Yeah.
what it's called, I think.
You think? You're not
think.
entirely sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure too.
Yeah, and Amba's been at home with the kids.
Still as slamming as ever.
Still as slamming
Still
as ever.
slamming.
Oh my God, guys.
Yeah.
Amba.
Amba, speaking of, I understand how you fell in love with her this season.
Yeah, I heard you guys just watched All Stars.
We
It's crazy
did,
that I'm in
we did.
Chicago again at the same time that you guys are once
Yeah.
again recording one of my season's
what-
episodes.
What brings you to Chicago? Is this specifically this podcast, or are you here for another reason?
There is a convention for construction, people who do construction.
There's a
Yeah.
people who do construction
course.
convention
Yes.
right now in
Yes.
Chicago during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. We actually we all gather in a very large room together.
But you all
And
stay
that we are
6 feet apart.
socially yes. But the kicker is we are all on our phones doing Zoom conference calls with each other.
Okay, so you're in the same
Yes.
room, but you're zooming each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Does it get echoey?
Depending on which room you are in, yes. There's several rooms all discussing
Yeah.
different construction related things.
And
things
what room
such.
do you go
Yeah,
to?
which
What's your
seminar
favorite part
are you most
of
excited about?
construction?
The Survivor seminar.
Are you leading one?
Yes.
Is
I
it
teach
how to
other
make-
construction people how to play Survivor, but that's not what I'm here to promote. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm here to talk to you guys. What did you think of how I played the game? What did you think of Amber's slamming body?
I think it was slamming
Yeah.
Boston Rob.
Yeah.
I think it's still slamming.
I mean, for
Yes.
reference, we do
It is
have
still slamming.
we have a clip here of what you said specifically.
Oh, am I going to be able to hear this clip?
No, but I think we'll
Does
tell
Zach
you
have
afterwards.
headphones? Andrew's handing
yeah,
me
there
his.
you go.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
more important that Boston Rob have headphones than Andrew here. So I'll play a real quick clip. Sorry, I was on your cord there. I'll play a real quick clip and tell me if this still holds up. This is what you said about Amber and All Stars.
Amber is slamming. She's sweet, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's got a great personality. Her ass is smoking too.
Yeah, so sweet, funny, good personality, and smoking ass, in your own words.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were that's all still true, minus the smoking ass
Absolutely.
part.
No, I think still true.
No, her ass. I mean, I said that because she had sat in the fire earlier.
Oh, literal
it was-
smoking
it
ass.
literally had smoke.
That's interesting. I'm not
Yeah.
sure we've ever had that context.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't get hurt.
Wow,
but
this is a
her-
first.
her
We're
ass was
uncovering a lot
smoking.
here, Coach
Yeah.
Gamebots.
It's like Scoopin burning his hands off. She burned
Yeah.
her buns
She
off.
gave a little
it-
squat in the fire. And
Yeah, and on
it.
it only made her ass look better.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Gotcha.
believe it.
So it's both metaphorically and literally. Her ass was smoking.
Yes, but no, yeah, of course. I love Amber. Like,
Yeah.
I think she deserved to win this game as much as I did. You can make a case saying that I played a bit harder and kind of took more of the blood on my hands, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without Amber.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without Amber.
Yeah. There's also another a clip that I want to play for you and see if this is a moment that has like resonated for you throughout your Survivor experience since you've had some since this point. I want to sort of get your take on it here.
It wasn't about me, it wasn't about strategy. It was about strategy to a degree.
So right away, it's not about strategy. It is about strategy to a degree. What was going through your head when you sort of said that?
Well, it was a very emotional moment. You
Yeah.
know, I was just a lot was happening. Mm-hmm. I was.
You had just given away those letters to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was so noble of you, by the way.
Thank you. I mean, it clearly didn't do much because in the end, people still didn't vote for me for petty reasons because no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
No good deed.
you
No.
still refuse to talk to Lex?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's the relationship?
Okay, well, what do you guys want me to answer that question or this question?
Sorry, we're just so excited to have you here,
it's
Rob.
not every day we get a
It's
celebrity.
okay. Hey, listen, I'm a nice guy, all right? But, bada bing, bada boom. Boston stuff, okay? So, hold on. So, let me answer the Lex thing. Lex and I are still tight. I actually hired him as an independent contractor to come work for Mariano Construction
Oh, okay.
Things. Yes.
You guys work together now.
Yeah, he's got quite the arm. With
Oh.
when he has a hammer in it, of course.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Hammer.
ask. Yeah.
Hammer.
Bada bing, bada boom, Boston stuff.
Yeah. I heard that you're from the New England area.
I am,
Are you familiar
yeah.
with the bada bing, bada boom, Boston
That's
stuff?
why I'm laughing so hard, because it just brought me home.
Yeah. Some might say that bada bing, bada boom is more of a New York thing, but
But
as
you know,
Boston Rob, I why would I lie
yeah, you're
about Boston things?
Yeah.
yeah. It's the fact that you add the bada bing, bada boom, Boston things. That's what makes it so signature to Boston.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course.
You
Boston,
guys get
Rob
it.
Boston things.
Yeah, this is why I love you guys. You just get it.
You
Yeah.
just get it.
But to answer I was, that moment where I said it wasn't about strategy, but it was. It's, I got a little carried away, and I realized what I was saying wasn't fully the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The metaphor was my heart truly. It was like 60% heart. Okay.
And 40% strategy.
My heart truly wanted them to experience good things, but 40% of me also wanted to win the game of Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Survivor.
Survivor.
I wrote a book on it.
What's the
Yeah.
book called?
The Survivor Handbook.
Oh, cool.
Is that what it's? That's what it's called.
That's a terrible name for a book, Boston Rob. I'm
Survivor
sorry.
Handbook.
Yeah.
I gotta know. Do you
Number
and,
crunch that.
We'll ask Zach when he comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, our number cruncher is currently out of the office, so we don't know for sure.
What's he doing?
He's apparently still putting money in the meter.
Yeah. Even though we live here,
Which
And
is
you know
weird.
you can do it from an app now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Also, he did
tech savvy
target a
Boston Rob.
meter.
Yeah. Boston Rob.
Yeah, what sort
I'm-
of apps do you use on your phone? You like an Angry Birds guy?
I often use my camera video app to record cameos.
So your favorite app is the camera video app?
Yes.
The one that comes with the phone.
Yes. It's great. Have you guys tried it? It lets
Yeah.
you take pictures of your family. If you cook a nice steak, you can take a picture of the steak. If you're remodeling a home, you can do before-after pictures. But enough about that.
Yeah, no, my favorite app is Notes, so I get it.
Mine is
That's where I write
contacts.
down. I love the contacts app. I have Amber in there. We just got all the girls' phones finally because it is 2020,
Yeah.
and
Maybe we can
they want to do
communicate with everybody.
TikTok.
Yeah.
They're trying to
They got to do the
TikTok.
TikTok.
Are you a
Yeah.
big TikToker, Boston Rob?
No, I don't believe that.
That
I've
is
ever
correct.
made a
You are not a
TikTok.
TikToker.
Yes.
All right, I was just making sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It's the girls like it. I do the
You
I'm
do the renegade
savage,
dance,
right?
yeah.
Nasty something. Bleh. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Boston.
Did you just call me Boston?
I sure did, Boston.
Good, keep it up.
Mr. Rob was my father.
Mr. Rob
Just
was
call
my
me
father.
Boston.
Call me Boston.
That episode where you and Amber got to go and watch a movie kind of had your first date. Do you guys still count that as your first date?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys those like Polaroids that you took? Do you still have those?
Yes, we do. We have them
scrapbook?
Yeah.
framed up in the house.
I love
you
it.
should.
I would love to see it.
Some great photos. Yeah, and maybe next time you stop by the studio, you can bring the scrapbook with you. We can,
Actually,
take a look.
with my camera app on my iPhone.
Your favorite app?
Yes, I took pictures of those pictures. You want to see, guys?
I would
Oh
love
yeah,
to.
yeah. We've got them here. In
Oh
the
my
stu.
gosh!
Here they
Wow,
are.
those are crisp photos.
Yeah.
Considering you
Right?
took them of
Right?
photos. Wow.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I know when a bit's going too long, so I gotta go.
Also, Zach, I think is on his way up right now. I
Yeah.
just
Oh,
heard the
great.
door.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe should
but
I
but
stay
thank you
and
so much for
No, no, you should
no,
probably-
you want me to go?
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
get going.
That's fine. Yeah, Amber is
Amber's
out
in
in
the
the
car.
car.
and you've got your construction social distance expo
That's
to
right.
get to.
The people who
Yep.
work in construction convention held in Chicago during COVID.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Pardon me.
Yeah, and today is actually a big day because we're going to discuss how we can appropriately do construction while not wearing masks because
Oh.
it's a lie.
Masks are a lie. I
Yeah.
do agree.
Masks are a lie.
Yeah,
Yes.
they don't work.
Also, construction is a lie.
That's not true.
All right,
I'm kidding. We'll see you later, Rob.
Okay, anyways.
that's all the
now
time
wear
we're
a
gonna
mask,
have.
everybody. Hey, stay safe, stay healthy out there. Yeah, I'm coming back to Chicago in
Yeah.
probably a couple months.
Anything else?
Maybe-
Any cameo deals?
Is there cameo deals right now? Yes. Yes. It's a heroes versus villains special.
Okay. If you're a hero or a villain,
No,
you get a special.
only villain.
Only villains.
Yes.
Okay.
If you've ever been convicted of a felony, not to say all felons are villains,
Yeah.
but if you've ever done anything bad in your life, let me know. I'll give you a
Okay.
discount.
So, like O.J. Simpson,
Yeah,
huge discount.
he's a villain.
Bernie
for sure.
Madoff.
Sure, yeah. I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's
vote for
the
Bernie.
extent of the
Okay.
villains.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, just remember what I always say: fear keeps people loyal. All right. Have a good one.
All right, Boston Rob. We'll
Bye,
catch
guys.
you later.
All right.
Thank you, Boston
Sound of
Rob.
door opening. Sound of door closing.
We love that guy here.
Yeah.
He's
Sound
the
of door
best.
opening, sound of door closing. Oh man,
Oh,
guys,
hey,
I'm
man.
back.
Did you see Boston on your way out?
Who?
Boston Rob. Oh,
Boston
sorry.
Rob.
Yeah, we call him
We
Boston.
call him
now.
Boston.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty tight.
We're
Yeah,
just
we're-
on that level.
Good lie. I saw a shadowy figure walking down the stairways, but I couldn't make out who it was.
That's weird because our stairs are pretty tight. But yeah, that was Boston Rob.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Well, how is he?
Yeah,
He's great.
He's good.
He's
Okay.
here for a construction convention,
Weird.
right? During
Yeah,
COVID?
right during COVID. Yeah.
Seems like a bad time for that.
Yeah. but-
He was jazzed about it.
Cool. What did you guys talk about? Survivor stuff, or did you kind of go really off the rails?
it was
Mostly Survivor stuff.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I think when
It would
you
be
hear
a
back
shame-
the episode, you'll
Yeah.
be really pleased with where it went.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you'll be
It
proud
would-
of us.
It would be a shame if you guys just for whatever reason didn't really talk about Survivor that much. That'd
Why
be
would we
crazy.
do this? Is a Survivor podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
Anyways,
Yeah. So I mean, back to the thing that again we're all talking about and love to talk about whenever given the opportunity. Survivor. There are a few more specific moments that really stand out in this season that I think are worth talking about. Rewards specifically were great this season. I think this is some of the best collection of rewards I think we've ever seen. One of them, we get Rupert's first reward when he goes on a spa date with Jenna Lewis and Amber, and they do makeup
right,
and they eat a feast and stay in a resort, get massages, right, and then come back all dolled up.
Still back that up as the best reward you can get.
Yeah.
Massage spa ship, sign me up.
Yeah. We got the shelter building where even if you don't win, you get to keep the shelter. So that in and of itself is pretty cool. The build your own raft one, where again you had to build a raft and paddle it out there for or else you get dissolved. The 94-foot yacht, right? And I think one of the coolest ones that we had was Rupert won a feast, and then he got to delegate who got what at the feast. So as the winner of the challenge, there's like 7 plates, right? And at the bottom, we've got rice and like water from camp. And at the top, we've got a steak dinner. And then there's different tiers. So there's like a hamburger somewhere in the middle.
A ham sandwich.
There's just like cold potatoes, right? There's a lot of different items. And then Rupert gets to decide who gets what. And then he also gets an open bar. So he's drinking the entire time. And I love this because it brings the social dynamics to the reward. And it's not just, it's kind of like in the Marquesas when we talked about that challenge where you got to chop a rope and it reveals your exit order, right? Like, it's the same thing of like, who are you close to? Who would you give a higher tier because you want to see succeed, right? And Tom is closer to the bottom, so it creates tension between Rupert and Tom. So I think it not only is a great reward, but it brings the game to the reward, which I love to see that sort of integration there.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like the Big Brother challenge, you know, when they like have to like steal the things.
Yeah.
So the first person gets like the whatever. Yeah, it's like
The power of veto.
yeah, it's a smart challenge, especially in an all-star season. I mean, like, it's just I think you got to do what you can to like be able to sort of separate people. You know, in an all-star season, I think it's easy for everyone to be like, oh, we're all on the same level, right? And then you kind of realize where the alliances are, and it's like, okay, now we can sort of play from there.
Yeah. The other thing, I think we can start sort of getting into our bits here towards the end. One that I want to do, we were talking a little bit, and we talked about Sia's little stinker, or whatever it was, and we realized Sia has a lot more depth to her than just, you know, admiring or disliking people in the cast of Survivor, right? She's got a lot of interests, and one of those clearly is fashion. You know, she's always wearing the wig where you can't see her eyes, got the hats. She's a very fit person. And more so than there was a little stinker this season, I think there were some sick fits, right? There were some people that were really dressed to the nines. They were out there, they're all-stars, they're there to impress. So I think that instead of maybe a little stinker, we award a Sia's sickest fit for the season because we got a lot of looks to go around. How do we feel about that?
Do you have some examples of looks?
I do. So we've got Kathy's Sherba beanie. She has this beanie that like comes all the way. It looks like sort of like a mountaineering type beanie.
I remember.
Yeah, it's a very good. We've got Amber has like a Paddington hat.
Oh yeah, her yellow hat.
Yeah, it's sort of like a rain hat. We got Hatch's birthday suit. We got Jerry, who's rocking a cowboy hat, a vest, like these like flowy pants, right? And we got Rupert in the typical tie-dye. As well as, I mean, Jeff's always an option, right? The blue button-up cargo
look.
pants are
True.
always a...
He'd win every time though.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe we do need to disqualify him.
I would submit Amber in Boston.
The Paddington hat? Oh, in the Boston Rob hat.
In Boston Rob's hat and
Love that.
his shirt.
Oh, okay.
Because it sums up this
That's
season
also
very well.
We've got the shirt that Boston Rob's brother gives to him, like the
True.
polo one that's like not fitting very well. Okay, so we're thinking it's Amber and a.
That's my vote.
Okay, how you feel, Zach?
I'm a big tie-dye fan, so I'll go with Rupert.
Okay, and see, I'm advocating for Jerry because you know all Jerry politics aside, she's got that vest. She's got the hat. It's a good look.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Luckily,
The yeehaw agenda.
Sia's a giving person. She give it all 3 of them.
Okay, yeah. So all 3, we just wanted to shout out those fits. You know, Sia doesn't have to have a definitive winner.
Yeah, no, Sia's
She
giving.
can give it to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's with Sia's brand.
Sure is.
Yeah. So how about a top 3 for this episode? We got a top 3, Zach?
Yeah, we do. We got a top 3. Sorry, I was looking at my phone, which I should
He was
do
tweeting.
No, my friend Danny liked a bunch of stickers that I posted on a post of Facebook 4 years ago. That was fun.
Shout out Danny.
Shout out
Yeah.
Danny. Top 3 All-Star moments. And that does not include All-Star by Smash Mouth. You can't add that.
All right, well,
I know.
give
I
me
know,
a minute.
I know. I'm sorry.
But this is a season filled with all-stars. Got a lot of all-star moments to go around. This is essentially top 3 iconic shit moments, right? Like this
Big
is
iconic things
Yeah.
that could only happen
on a season
in an
full of
all-star
all-star
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's, Jack, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Start us off.
I mean, I feel like Rob's proposal is almost too obvious, right? Like that.
That is an all-star moment for sure.
That's kind of the objective one. But personally, I think the all-star moment for me would be Jeff taking shotgun over Amber in the car reward challenge. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar, Boston Rob wins the car, and then they drive it to their movie date where Amber also gets a car. But Jeff requires Amber to sit in the back seat while he and Boston Rob sort of pal down up in the front. And to me, that just reeks of it. You know, if it wasn't an all-star, Jeff wouldn't want to hang out with you like that. But clearly, he and Boston Rob are close, so they have that sort of all-star moment. It's a subtle one, but it's
they
one
really
of my
are,
favorites.
They're digging each other's company.
Yeah,
They just are.
they're having a
hamming
blast,
it up with each other.
and you can see like Amber's arm in the background.
And they're like, "Nah, get her out of the shot. She's get her out."
It's not her car.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be.
We're not here for her. We're here for the Jeff and Rob. We're Jeff and Rob shippers.
Truly.
Yeah. But that's my all-star moment, I will
big
say,
thing.
is Jeff taking shotgun.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
How about you guys?
Andrew?
My all-star moment, can my all-star moment just be Sheehan? Because I very much liked Sheehan's journey this whole...
You could
Because
say
she-
that her whole appearance in itself was a moment. Sure.
Yeah.
Because she went from being the only Thailand member
Mm-hmm.
who's like... I mean, Thailand's the worst. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's... and then, like, you love her in Thailand because she's the only one out there, really. I mean, Brian's playing. But
Yeah.
she's playing, and you see it, and you are rooting for her. And then she comes into this season, and she starts to be a little whiny, a little annoying. But then at her last final tribal council, maybe this is her all-star moment, she looks Amber, like, dead in the eye in the camera.
Yeah.
And she's like, you guys have to realize that Amber will win this game.
Mhm. She called
If
it.
you do not get her out right now, Amber will win.
Yeah,
How
and-
do you not see this?
And she's going home regardless.
She
and
knows
she knows
that.
it. So she's like, I'm just going to throw my vote to the person that I think is
Yeah.
going to win this game.
Said it was going to be a statement.
Yeah. And she gives it to Amber, and then ultimately votes for Amber to win in the game, or in the end. And then Amber gives her a
car.
Yeah,
car,
so-
a Chevy Equinox.
I'll say that moment of Sheehan looking pretty much Amber dead in the eyes and being like, you're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Somebody has to do something about you.
Yeah.
And this is like, I think Sheehan having that kind of a season is a great, that's what I'm looking for. It's almost like redemption for how
Yeah.
terrible Thailand is. It's like, at least they gave us Sheehan.
Yeah.
Who,
And
she's not perfect, but she's dope.
imagine coming from Thailand and playing with those people. Like, she was on a tribe with Scottsdale Rob.
Right.
So she's used to Scottsdale Rob quality of people. And like Jake is the standout. And now all of a sudden you're thrust into this world filled with, larger than life figures. So, yeah, no, you love to see the growth.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, how about you?
Let's go with my top 3. So this is the third of the top 3. All-star moment is after Rob and the gang vote out Big Tom.
Yeah.
When Big Tom leaves, he turns around and just glares at Boston
yeah.
Rob.
Yep.
Gives him that fucking stare down. And it's like a hot, like, 3 or 4 seconds. And Rob looks right back at him. He's not scared.
Yeah.
And just that moment, and then they turn. He turns and walks, and then it cuts to the jury. Jury's, like, rolling their eyes and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's just, like, that moment. It's just, like, everything built up to, like, something as epic as that happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
no,
it's huge, too, with, like, such an iconic person like Tom getting betrayed.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Are you sure it's that moment and not the "Don't be stupid" or whatever he says?
Don't be still,
Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck
When
Tom.
he does like a psych out, like too slow. That's some all-star
Tom's
shit
a
right there.
dweeb.
A real fool me once, shame on you.
Oh, one
Fool me.
I
Can't get fooled again.
can't fall again by my family.
Yeah. No, it was a not the best look for Tom.
Yeah.
Tom is a baby.
Yeah.
When Rob held out his hand for Tom to shake.
For like
Tom-
30 solid
and
seconds.
Tom's like, I'm not shaking it. Excuse me. It's the
Yeah.
beer. Tom's like, I'm not shaking it until like I get to say my piece.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, dude. Just
No,
shake
it's
it.
yeah. The salty jury this season was, top 10 worst juries.
I will say though that the episode where Big Tom gets voted out, my favorite episode of Survivor.
Yeah, really.
Look at
Well, what else happens
how
in that
much I
episode?
circled that.
Oh, that's happy.
This is a very happy face.
That is a happy face.
The happiest face.
What episode number is that? Like 15?
15. It's
Yeah.
Rob and
Puppet.
Amber's first date.
Puppet Master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Rob like puppeteering Tom and Rupert to fight each other.
Yeah, so that's a great strategy move right there. It's executed great where he gets the heat off of him by causing them to bicker amongst each other. All right, so I think we should jump back in with a little bit of a babe and a hunk debate going on here. Yeah. So we got a lot of options on both sides, I think, right? So this should be a very lively debate. And I think we should open up with the babes of the season. In the words of Jeff at the reunion, what did he say? Bring out the girls or something? He did some sort of
Bring out the
soundbite.
shouties.
Yeah, he was like, show us the girls or something.
I don't remember.
We'll get the soundbite next episode going for it. Yeah, so for the girls, I know for Andrew, there's probably a very obvious choice, right?
It's Amber.
It's Amber. But I think that at the very least, there's a lot of babes in this cast, and we at the very least have to pay our respects. Consider it that sort of long walk with the torches where we reflect on
We
the
don't
babes
need
of
that.
the season. But I think it's an injustice to
20
just
minutes.
say Amber without at least talking about all the quality candidates
Yeah.
this season.
I mean, it's Amber for me also, but I mean, you gotta say Jenna.
Jenna,
Also.
beautiful.
Jenna, unfortunately, is not in this season that much, so to call her the babe of this season
Yeah.
is tough. She is, in my opinion, up to this point, the greatest babe, right? We had that conversation.
Yeah.
But this season, Amber. Amber is such a cutie.
I think Alicia.
Alicia's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Sheann's gorgeous.
Alicia rubbed me the wrong way this season, though.
That's
She was-
in
yeah.
attitude, yes. I
More
will
attitude this
stand by
season.
that. And that's
She is a babe, though.
I think the
Yes.
deterrent for most of these is, again, since this is such like a ego-ridden season, so many people are really high off their own supply, and my deterrent for voting anybody else is just Amber is the least egotistical and the most unproblematic. But I mean, we also have Jerry, who again is rocking some sick fits and looking pretty good.
Looking good.
That's true.
She just also has her moments where she's a bit much. So, but yeah, well, we can go ahead and give it to Amber. So Amber is the official babe of All Stars.
The tribe has spoken.
We didn't want to mention Sue post getting her the work done
The
New
new
Sue?
Sue.
after her extreme home makeover.
In the
Is looking
reunion,
great.
Sue had some sort of makeover done for TV, right? And was showing off her new. Jeff was grilling her on it too.
Yeah.
He's like liposuction, eyes,
You get your titties
nose.
done or what, Sue?
Yeah. What
She
about
looked great, though.
Jeff's like, what about the ass? Sue, what about the ass?
Ass lift, yes or no?
Tell us. The
You have
people
10
need to
seconds
know.
to answer.
Her ass is smoking now.
Rob's like, Amber, you got some competition.
Rob proposes to Sue in the finale. But also, for hunks, I feel like we have some options here. Especially given that, like Ethan, who we might traditionally, that's the other thing. Coming into this, Jenna's an official babe already. Amber's an official babe already. Amber becomes the first queen. In
Yeah,
terms
she's
of
our first repeat.
two-time winner. What about the hunks? Because we've got people like Colby, we've got Ethan, Rob. Is it Rob?
It's Boston Rob.
I understand though. Like I would say Ethan, but unfortunately Ethan had to play from the bottom this whole game.
Yeah.
And just never really got his moment to shine. This
Okay.
season though is not only Rob looking like a hunk,
Yeah.
dominating this whole season start to finish.
Okay. I can get on board with that. So Boston Rob is the official hunk of the season.
The tribe has spoken.
And so we've got a power couple right there.
Amber and Rob.
Amber and Rob. And I think that they have both won previously as well.
Yep.
So if we do some sort of bracket or something with this, it may come down to a Boston Rob Marquesas versus Boston Rob All-Stars. Same for Amber.
That could be cool.
You never know. So stay tuned for whenever we...
You're not going to want to miss this.
We got a whole lot of Survivor left before we get there.
Don't worry. We got some seasons to
That'll be in
trudge through.
our epilogue episode.
Yeah, we're going to drag out this concept as long as possible, so we'll have to find some way to squeeze this content for all it's worth. But beyond that, do we have any like fun number crunchy type shit before we dive into our season reviews?
Well, there's a couple. Some of them are pretty obvious. This is the first season that ever has 3 starting tribes to begin with.
Yeah.
You know.
And we mentioned that made for a very exciting pre-merge, in my opinion, so I think that's a quality decision.
Jenna Lewis and Rupert both landed on all 4 of the tribes that existed within this game.
Wow.
They're the only 2. Yeah. It's kind of sick.
Wow. So I guess that was at the tribe swap, everybody flip-flopped.
Yep.
They were dissolved when they were on Saboga.
And then they
And then
made
the
it to
merged
the
tribe.
the Chaboga Mogo.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
That's cool. That's a
How,
cool
how do
one.
you think psychologically that is it better to be somebody like that who has connections with everybody, or do you think it harms your game in terms of you have no roots?
It worked for both of them. They made it to the Final Four.
That's true. And they were prioritized over Alicia and Tom who were in the original alliance.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. Maybe there's something there.
Here's an interesting one that I did not think about. So this is the only season that has returning players from Thailand or Amazon.
Oh wow.
Wow.
There's those 2 seasons never get a returner.
They're done
Okay.
from
Wow.
here on out.
Yep.
Interesting.
I know, right? Pretty crazy.
People come back from Borneo, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
In my
Wigglesworth.
favorite season, Second Chance, Kelly Wigglesworth comes back.
Wigglesworth.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. That's a great. I'm so excited to get to that area.
Yeah. And Outback has a lot of people that come back.
I know Jerry and Colby make another.
Ethan and Winners at War, I guess that would have been another pretty big drought if nobody else came back.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. And last one. This season ties with Heroes vs. Villains in having the most former winners on a cast with 4. That's Hatch, Tina, Ethan, and Jenna.
Obviously
not counting.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I was gonna
say.
say, there's one big exception.
Yeah. So and that's the first
Yeah.
thing that this number it says outside of Winners at War.
Yeah.
Obviously that goes without saying. So
What was the other season?
it's Heroes vs. Villains.
Here's versus Villains.
Yeah. So this and Heroes vs. Villains, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Both all returners. Oh, well, all 3 all returner seasons. But
Awesome.
yeah. So those are the crunched numbers.
Those are pretty good crunches there.
Crunch crunch.
Yeah. And so without
Brought to
further
you by
ado,
Captain Crunch.
Sponsored by Captain Crunch.
Brought to you by Nature Valley.
Brought to you by Crunch Bars. I had to. I know it ruined the flow, but I had
y'all
to.
are not
knows.
gonna let me wrap this episode.
No, we're having so much fun.
we got to do our rating still.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Is without further ado, I think it's time to jump into our season reviews. Zach or Andrew, who wants to go first?
Review time. Come get it, slime.
we'll put that before every single season review here.
It's a little jingle.
Yeah. You want to go first, Andrew, on your coconut scale?
4.4 out of 5 coconuts.
Oh.
Wow.
My second highest rated season.
4.45?
4.5?
Out of 5. 4.4 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
4.4
Gotcha.
out of 5.
And what was Pearl Islands, which I'm assuming is
4.6.
4.6. Gotcha. What about this season merited a 4.4 for you?
I think that I liked Pearl Islands better throughout. This one, we've said, is a great pre-merge and a somewhat slow post-merge.
Yeah.
But Tribal Council is amazing.
Yeah. Which brings it up a lot of points.
The
Soaking Wet Jeff.
Soaking Wet Jeff. The people in this cast are all phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1, I wrote, I love everyone in this cast except Jenna Lewis. But even then, I like Jenna Lewis at the end.
There you go.
Yeah, she brought it around.
She brought it around.
Yeah.
So, yeah. 4.4.
Okay. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Second highest season we've seen.
I think so. I don't keep track of these.
Yeah, okay. Well, to the extent that we know.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's Andrew's coconut system right there. But how about on your pitchfork scale?
Pitchfork scale. So Survivor All-Star Season 8 on the pitchfork scale, we're giving this baby Be the Cowboy by Mitski. That's right, I'm talking Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. That's right. I'm talking Melodrama by Lorde.
Oh.
I'm talking an 8.8, guys.
Wow, an 8.8.
8.8.
That's not bad.
This is so far my second highest rated season behind Pearl Islands.
9.2.
Nice.
9.2 on Pearl Islands. Yeah, I think it kind of goes without saying this is a quality season, despite some of the flaws, some pretty rough stuff that happens. But besides that, stellar cast, insane amount of gameplay. Obviously, towards the end, it's a little bit predictable, but I don't think that takes away from how dominant a performance that Amber and Rob put on. I think, man, got to be next to, like, in Tocantins, we'll see another great duo, but this has got to be, like, one of the
most iconic.
strongest iconic duos, right? They're still married today.
Right.
Yeah, and we're close personal friends with one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend of the
We
show.
gotta-
Friend of the podcast.
We got to
give it to him.
represent. Yeah. No, All Stars is, in my opinion, the second best season of the early era.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, this is
And
pretty solid.
for me, early era is 1 through 10.
Yeah. No, this is a...
We'll get more into that another time.
Yeah.
I agree with you, though.
It's a good one, though. I really enjoyed this season. It's any time I can watch Boston Rob.
Yeah.
It's always fun time.
Just destroy.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And on my mashed potato scale,
Potatoes.
this is a certified mash season.
Here we go.
We got a 93%.
Hey.
Wow, 93.
And what'd you
got-
give Pearl Islands?
95.
95,
So,
okay.
yeah, same
Keep it
thing.
tight.
This is second highest to Pearl Islands. Yeah.
We all agree Pearl Islands is slightly better.
Yeah. Just because, again, more entertaining consistently throughout. I think we all agree that pre-merge is where it's at when it comes to All-Stars, but I don't even want to say it fizzles because it's still interesting because it's Rob and
still great.
Amber's relationship, right? And that's what you're watching for, but it's not necessarily the crazy balls to the wall stuff that you're seeing at the beginning of the season.
Also, I mean, the proposal at the end,
Yeah. It's
chef's kiss.
The
cherry on top.
the perfect end to that season arc, truly. Do you have any movies that match my 93% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, I sure do.
What do we got?
Starting off, to match your 93%,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's Us
Okay.
at 93, which I think is a little high for that movie.
Do you know what Get Out is? Or
I don't.
that might be it.
I think
I like
Out
Get
is
Out
high.
better
I like
than
Get
Us.
Out better as
Yeah.
well.
I don't know what the vibe is.
Logan,
Okay.
which I would agree with.
These are some pretty good movies, yeah.
Yeah. Thor Ragnarok,
Oh,
which I would even rate a little higher, probably than 93%. La La Land,
another Oscar winner.
and Force Awakens.
Oh, there you go, Zach. Force Awakens, 93%.
Bringing it all back to Star Wars.
So yeah, no, I love this season. It was a lot of fun. The Boston Rob and Amber storyline is one of the best storylines the show has ever had. We had an amazing pre-merge, maybe the best, question mark. I think so, just because we've got so many interesting characters. Iconic people and iconic moments.
Yes.
But the flip side of that is that, again, there's hella ego. There's a lot of whining and bitching that's kind of like, hey, you're on an all-star season of Survivor. Like, at least enjoy the fact that, like, yes, you've been through this before. You know what it's like. And now you're surrounded by people who get it. So, like, enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I think there is a stain from the Sue and Hatch incident that is hard to overlook.
Yes.
We didn't necessarily talk about it all that much, but it really is an uncomfortable moment that is hard to know how to deal with, and the edit portrays it in a not the best light.
Very poor job.
There's a lot of talk about whether or not she's doing it for the money, which
It's
is
very problematic.
Yes.
It's insane. Yeah.
So
Something we don't need to talk about.
exactly, but that's
if you're curious, look into it, guys.
again. That's why I feel it's a stain on this season, and
Yeah.
why Pearl Islands is ultimately better. And again, Sheehan said it best when she said a pagong is boring, like a pagonging.
Yes.
You don't want to see a pagonging, and that's essentially what happened. So it was again a slow march towards Amber and Rob's win, but again, very exciting start and a lot of cool moments all throughout this thing. So pretty high season. Can't recommend a rewatch enough, I think, for all of us.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's going to be it for this season. Thank you guys for hanging in during this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys go check out All Stars. If you're thinking about a rewatch, definitely recommend it. We have not seen any of Survivor Vanuatu yet.
We have not.
But I do want to prepare you, it is not All Stars.
I figured.
It is Survivor, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
as long as there's Jeff, I'm in.
We're about to enter like Survivor Classic era where it's like the same game, but it's just we're ready for immunity
It's just
idols
different
and we're not
people,
there
yeah.
yet. So we'll see how it goes. But
Still
yeah,
Can I
excited.
say one last thing?
yeah,
before
of
we
course.
Go?
What's up?
You guys are all stars to us. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Love you.
thank you so much. We'll see you next episode. Grab your stuff, head back to camp. So.
Oh, like Jeff.